I am a motivational speaker. I am the author, and I am a radio talk show host of the Darlene Hunter Show. Very excited about that. My book, Overcoming the Obstacles, Releasing the Winner in You, it is a motivational, inspirational book. I wrote the book with the prayer and hope that it would help someone going through many of today's obstacles, such as divorce, separation, financial hardship, loss of a loved one, sickness, to really help them and encourage them and know to never give up, because I always believe it's never over until God says it's over. You know, when you're going through some challenges in life, it's really hard to understand why you're going through them. And I know, like myself, I questioned so many times, how could I be going through these hard times and these challenges? And so after I came through them, some, broken, revived, rejuvenated, learning, a lot of learnings in there. I believe that I am now stronger and wiser. And I wanted to be able to share that experience with so many people. One, because so many people, when they're going through challenges and obstacles, believe that they are the only ones going through anything. And so I wanted them to know that there is nothing new under the sun, and that all of us go through challenges and obstacles. And once you start sharing and telling your story, you find out that there are so many people who have been where you've been, or going through what you've already gone through. And so I think it's so important to be able to share to help someone else along. It was a prayer for me, actually, a year or maybe less after I wrote the book. I had so many conversations with my family, and I said, in order for me to get this message out, I need to be able to reach a broader scope at a vast amount of time. So doing general speakings wasn't doing it fast enough for me. And I figured if I had an opportunity to get on radio and to draw that listening audience, that I would be able to share on a broader scope. And so I was able to do that by doing a segment I call Motivational Moments. I do that on Saturdays from William Patterson College at 7 a.m. Every Saturday morning, and just sharing just one motivational moment. It's somewhere between 2 to 5 minutes, and it actually, my hope is that it actually makes a difference in someone else's life first thing every Saturday morning. And then I was able to get discovered or picked up by a producer, R. Kelly Media Enterprises, who asked me after seeing my profile actually on LinkedIn, and to see if I wanted to do a 2-hour radio talk show. And so I thought it was a blessing and a great opportunity for me to again reach so many with the message of never giving up. So the theme of the show is motivating real people through real issues, but the purpose is to make life-changing differences in the lives of others. Well, we talk about things such as brokenness, or we give examples of different things or challenges that may go on in life. I remember a story where there was a family who was going to church on Christmas Eve, and they were asking their husband, of course, and their father to go with them, and he didn't believe. He didn't believe in the whole purpose of Christmas. He thought it was a waste of time to go to church. And what happened was, as his family went to church, he stayed home that Christmas Eve, and there was a bad storm. And so during that time of the storm, he had a revelation through various amounts of circumstances that happened, and he became a believer in Jesus Christ at that time. And it really motivated him to change his life and his attitude. He was really grumpy and nasty and angry most of the time. And during that encounter that he had at home that Christmas Eve day, he discovered who he was and what life was all about for him. And so I share different stories. People send in different stories that are real life occurrences that, again, motivate people, real people, with real stories. I mean, I've had so many people write me. I also blog. I just started blogging this year in January, but, so many people have written me and emailed me and called me just to tell me that the messages I sent out the day before or something that they read in my book changed their life. There was a story in my book that I shared about my life as a child, where I grew up in a household where my father was an alcoholic and my mother was a victim of domestic violence. And so I shared some of those stories in my book. And I had a young lady tell me that she forgave her father, as I did, that she grew up in a similar situation and she was so angry for so long, and that when she read my book she could see herself in the story, and she realized that she needed to let go of that anger in order to be the person that God shaped her to be. And so many different stories come out of it. Again, I was broken going through a divorce and ashamed, actually, and was able to share how I changed as a person and how I allowed circumstances to change my personhood. And so many people have just been able to relate. I just had a phone call last week who said, please tell me when you write another book, because I am anxiously waiting to hear more about your life and how it will make a difference in so many other people's. Well, I really believe that I have the gift of exaltation and able to motivate and inspire people. A lot of times I believe that brokenness can change us, and when we go through things that are not quite the way we thought they should be, that there is an occasion for us to just stop in our tracks and to give up. And so I really would love to touch every single person that I could, sometimes with a hug, sometimes with a smile, sometimes with words of inspiration, and most of the time I'm sharing real life stuff. I'm very transparent. And so to be able to tell them that I have financial issues, to be able to tell them that I was hurt, that I was broken, that I was distraught, that I was lonely, that I was fearful, but God, to me just goes volumes. And if I could just reach as many people as I could who are sitting in a corner, who are crying on the inside, who have given up and thought they could not reach their hopes and dreams, that's what I want to do. I would love to do it full time, every day, all the time, every waking moment. My purpose, I believe, is to do just that, is to help someone else to move forward in their life. I would love for you to visit my website. It is www.darlenehunter.com, and on my website there are so many different things that you can do. You can email me personally. You can leave a message in our guest book. You can see exactly what I do. You can see the comments about my book. You can see comments about my radio show. You can get details about the radio show. I also am the president and founder of Darlene Hunter and Associates, where we do speaking engagements to various organizations, both private and personal. So you can see all the things that we're looking to do. And then you can shoot me an email and say hello. And you can also follow my blog on my website. So everything is in one spot. Again, it's darlenehunter.com. And when you go there, just say hi. I would love to hear from you.